Okay, back on script now. So let's put that ear flap in. The tricky thing now, though, is that I want to animate the flapping of the whiskers, we'll say, the flapping of the whiskers on this symbol, and it is responding to not the head turn on this layer up, but the head bounce on this layer. So I'm 2 levels up in the timeline, which can be tricky because I have to respond now. We talk about animating elements on different timelines within symbols, and this time it really, we hit like from the knee bend on the leg, we had to go inside of one, and it wasn't that big deal. Now we got to do 2, and so we can think about this before we get into it, because I want this to flap in relation to the rise drop of the head. So let me think about what are these positions, what's driving them. So like frame 1, for example, the head is still at its lowest point. Yeah, so it's low or down. We'll say down, up, down, down. So we're still on 1, 7, 13, 19, 25 is our down, up. I think knowing that would probably give us a starting point. So let me go in here, and I have done this a few times before, so I have some sort of, I guess, experience in gauging, down, up, low, high, whatever it is. Let me note this out so I can keep track of it. So 1, I think was down. Be consistent with my names. So this was down, 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 and then up. So I can I can't see it, but I can work that way. If I wanted to, I'll do this first, and then maybe I can show you another way to kind of get some visual feedback. But for now, let's just kind of work just using good notes and organization. So if the head is down, that means the whiskers are gonna lag. They're gonna drop, and then they're gonna swing down. When the head moves down, let's put it so when the head moves in this direction down, the whiskers are gonna lag up, and just opposite. When the head raises up, the whiskers are gonna lag down. So let's see what happens now if we start tweening this out and see what we get. I'm going to choose this whisker here, and I want to manipulate the position using the looping. I don't have any visual feedback for this other than just scrubbing through and seeing the numbers. What I can do is I can select my frame picker, and it brings up this panel, which yours may not show up over here because I don't know where it shows up by default, but I just positioned it over here. And I made sure that I have create keyframe on, and that single frame is selected. And for that, a couple reasons. Create keyframe just means if I am somewhere in the timeline and I click on any new frame, it's going to set a keyframe wherever I am, which is nice. And then single frame just sets my looping to be a hold, because I want to control. I don't want it to like start here and then loop again. I want it to actually hold on this frame until I choose another one. So let me think about this. I know that basically I'm going to work with a 12 frame cycle, and it's going to happen twice because it's bouncing twice in a single, he takes 2 steps, so his head bounces twice in a single cycle, single 24 frame cycle. So I only have to animate a 12 frame loop, and so that will help me. So let's go ahead and think about the first 12 frames. So from 1 to 7, the head is actually raising up. And if the head is raising up, then that means there's going to be some lag on the extremity of this whisker. It's going to, if the head's going up, this is going to eventually, it's going to swing down, kind of in opposition to the head raising up. So I'm going to start moving this down. So starting with frame 1, maybe I'll be okay with that. And I know by frame 7, I want to be kind of at the furthest point of my downstroke. So I want to be like at frame 9 there. I'm going to hide this other one for now. So I'm going to go between 1 and 9. So I'm going to go with 1, and then I'm going to go 2, like an ease out, and I'm going to jump really quick till like, this will be 9, this will be 8, 7, 6, 4. Okay, and then I want to end up back at 1 again here for frame 12 where I started. And I could just select this in reverse keyframes, select it, copy it, and do reverse keyframes, which is, you can't actually see it here, but if you right click on your timeline and you scroll down, you can say reverse frames. I don't want to do that. I want to kind of do this by hand. So I know I want to end up at here at the end, and maybe I want to kind of ease out, get closer to that 2, and then maybe here I want to go, we'll say 3, 4. Is that a sudden jump? It may be. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm going to duplicate this here. Let's see what we get. Let's make sure this is in sync. So I'm going to select all these and synchronize my symbols. And I'm going to, I don't know if this is going to play back at the right speed. There's a lot of things going on here. Let's see. It's hard to get a feel for that. It might be okay. I think from here to here is a little bit abrupt. This feels like it's off a little bit. Let me go back in here and let's try this. 1, 2, 4, 6. Let me get to that sooner, so I can hold on it longer and see if that has any effect. 9, and I'm going to hold this, and then what's this? We're back at 4. Let me cushion this a little bit, like a 7 or an 8, and let's see if that does anything. And you know what I'm going to do too to kind of help out? I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Oh, not the ear, sorry, this whisker. So I'm going to duplicate this same. So what was it? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So let's try and let's see what happens. 1, 2, and then on the way back up. 8, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to duplicate that and see what we get. Select, Alt drag, take this 25 out. Okay, now see what we get. It's not bad, actually. So I'm looking at where it kind of hits the boom right there. It's hitting my arrow. Bam, bam, bam. And are the tips of the little tufts there kind of catching up after that impact? And it kind of works for me. I think it's working for me. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that on this side. On the other whisker. So that's the near whisker. So we're our far whisker. And these I haven't even broken apart yet. All right, so let's Shift Control D, distribute to layers. Note. I guess we don't really need that anymore. So we're going to go 24 frame cycle. And whoops. F4, I hit F4 instead of F5. F4, I guess it makes your timeline invisible or something. All right, so what was mine? It was like 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, I think. Let's see how good my memory is. Yep, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. hold, 8, 4 to 1. Okay, I think I can remember that. So here we go. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, hold, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was not exactly symmetrical. I'll just get a little, asymmetry sometimes. Not a bad thing. Kind of gives it a little bit of charm. A little organic imperfection can be a good thing. In this case, 4. What can't I see this anymore? 6. Selecting both of them. 8, 9, and then hold, and then 8, and then we're popping back to 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll duplicate that and see how that works. Yeah, there's some kind of cool. It's like a flying cat head now. All right, so let's do the ears and the head, and we're kind of in the home stretch, right?